What's up, Blu-ray lovers? This is Will Carr here with my top 25 favorite movie countdown. This was a countdown that WrestleManiac 1130 did a couple weeks ago on his channel, and he basically asked other YouTubers, Blu-tubers, to do the same. So I'm here to do mine. So if you can tell, my Blu-ray shelf is kind of empty, and my DVD shelf as well with some of my Blu-rays and DVDs. I'm basically going to be counting down 25 top favorite movies I enjoy. Basically, I watch. He did the same thing with his, the ones he watches most. So yeah, let me get done with this countdown. So at number 25 is Big Trouble in Little China, starring Kurt Russell. I saw this movie as a kid back on cable in the late 1980s, and it was just one of the best John Carpenter movies out there, one of my favorite Kurt Russell movies out there. Kurt Russell does have another movie on this list. So yeah, Big Trouble in Little China. At number 24, I have The Last Dragon, one of the best 80s classics movies ever. It's one of the most quoted movies. It has one of the best lines and basic nostalgia of this movie. It's one of the best. I had this, always loved this movie as a kid. Came out in 1985, and it's one of the best. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. At number 23 is Major League. Sorry, I had to read the list. Major League is at 23. One of my favorite sports movies of all time, sports comedies. Best sports R-rated movie of all time, Major League. Number 22 is Home Alone. Yes, Home Alone. One of my favorite movies growing up. This came out in 1990. Just one of the best holiday movies of all time. I watched this movie a lot during the holidays, even not during the holidays, because they play this a lot. Not even during Christmas. So Home Alone. At number 21 is Backdraft, starring Kurt Russell. Another Kurt Russell favorite. It's one of my favorite movies of Kurt Russell and director Ron Howard. Is just one of the best out there. And if you haven't seen Backdraft, watch it. At number 20 is American Pie. This is my American Pie. All three movies. The first American Pie is the first movie I saw in 1990. It was during my last year of my teenage years, and it's just one of my favorite comedies, R-rated comedies of all time, American Pie. Sorry, got this wrong. At number 19, I have The Hangover. Also one of my favorite R-rated movies of all time. At number 18, I have Predator. One of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies of all time. It's have one of the best references, action. I can always watch this movie, never get tired of it. It's one of those movies that have great replay value. So, Predator at number 18. At number 17 is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now you're probably asking me why not Raiders of the Lost Ark. I saw Temple of Doom was the first Indiana Jones movie I was ever introduced to. So it's actually one of my favorite Indiana Jones movies. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I do. So Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is number 17. At number 16 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original 1990s classic. One of my favorite movies of all time. I'm pissed off they're doing that remake. Should not have a remake. And yeah, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of the best movies out there. I can always watch this movie. It's one of the darker ones in the franchise, and I do enjoy it too. But like I said, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 16. Number 15 is my favorite comedy of all time, Ted. Love this movie. I can watch this movie all the time. I can reference every line that Ted says. And it's just one of the best comedies that came out in the last 2 years, in 2012. Can't wait for the sequel. Ted is number 15. And at number 14 is Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks' Saving Private Ryan. One of my favorite war movies of all time. First time I saw this movie was the first 30 minutes at the beginning of the movie, and I've never seen a movie that brutal in my life. The first 30 minutes of the movie. If you have not seen Saving Private Ryan, it is worth the watch. Believe me, this movie is great. At number 13, I have one of the best heist bank movies of all time, and that's Point Break with Keanu Reeves and the late great Patrick Swayze. I watched this movie a lot as a teenager. It was one of the best movies out there. I'm a little pissed off they have a remake coming out next summer. They should not remake a classic, and this is it. Point Break at number 14. I mean, at number 13. Damn, I can't. I told you it's hard to do these lists. At number 12 is another another comedy, Superbad. One of my favorite Jonah Hill and movies. I forget the other guy's name in the movie. Whatever. I think Evan. I don't know. I don't care. Basically, Superbad. I saw this movie in theaters 4 times. One of the best comedies of 2007. One of my favorite top 5 comedies of all time. Superbad. At number 20. Not 20. Sorry, number 11. I can't edit this out because I can't edit stuff. I'm trying to edit this on. And number 11 is the first Scream movie. Scream is the first horror film I saw in the 1990s in the theaters. I was younger at the time. It was one of the best movies out there. This is basically what reunited the horror franchises movies again, and it was just one of the best out there. So I have Scream at number 11. Sorry, guys. At number 10, I have The Avengers. Marvel's The Avengers. I saw this movie twice in theaters. I've seen this movie basically about 8 times since it's been out. I'm basically gonna wear out this Blu-ray until the Age of Ultron comes out next year. So at number 10, I have Marvel's The Avengers. At number 10, I have Tom Cruise in Collateral. This is one of Tom Cruise's best movies, one of Jamie Foxx's best movies. Jamie Foxx was nominated for Best Supporting Actor Oscar for this performance. Same year he was nominated for Ray, he won for Ray that year. This is Tom Cruise being a badass. I've never seen Tom Cruise like this in my life. In a movie, he's great. He should do more villain roles. He's good at it. And this is also directed by Michael Mann, one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies, and that's Collateral. At number 8 is James Cameron's classic Terminator 2 Judgment Day, one of Arnold's best movies of all time, playing the Terminator. What can I say about this? I saw this movie a lot as a kid. This movie never gets old. The action sequences, every time I watch them, just get better and better and better. Nobody can duplicate this or redo these movies back when. James Cameron is the master at action and making everybody excited and basically just making you feel like a kid when you're watching this movie. So Terminator 2 Judgment Day is at number 8. I have another horror film on the list, and at number 7, it's A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, not that crappy remake. This movie scared me a lot as a kid. I could not sleep, dream, or anything. I had to sleep with the light on at times. To this day, this movie still scares the shit out of me. I actually watched it last night on the Independent Film Channel, IFC channel, and still scared the shit out of me. Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm a 35-year-old man. I'm still scared of fucking Freddy Krueger, man. What can I say about A Nightmare on Elm Street, man? The original, man, still holds up, man. Best horror film of all time. At number 6, I have Batman Begins. One of my favorite Batman movies. This movie I've watched more times than The Dark Knight. It is one of the best rewatch movie ever. I love this movie. I don't know what it is about Batman Begins. It's just a great movie from beginning to end. It's just one of my favorite Batman movies of all time, man. Batman Begins at number 7. No, number 6. Jesus Christ. Might as well do this the way it is and then forget about it. At least, you know, I'm human. I'm gonna mess up. And that's why I got a list. I made a list. See? I made a list. At number 5, I have Ben Affleck's best movie to date, The Town. One of my favorite bank heist movies, up there with Point Break. It's one of the best movies that he's directed in the last couple years. One of my favorite movies. Actually, the extended cut is actually a little bit better than the original cut. And it's one of my favorite Ben Affleck movies. Jeremy Renner kicked ass in this movie. He deserved that Oscar nomination. This movie is great. I've seen it like 12 times. It's just a great movie, man. If you haven't seen The Town, watch it. It's pretty good. At number 4, I have Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in Heat. Also, another bank heist movie directed by Michael Mann. One of my favorite movies. I saw this movie. I rented it when I was about a young lad. It's like I rented this years ago in 1996. I remember watching it and watching the scene where they're basically robbing the bank and basically having that cool shootout in the streets of Los Angeles. And he has it all. It's a 2 hour, almost a 3 hour movie. It doesn't get old. It's one of the best movies out there. It still holds up. Robert De Niro and Al Pacino's first movie together. They only have like 10 minutes in a scene in a coffee shop. One of the best scenes between two legends out there, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. What you can say about these guys? And at number 3 is Goodfellas, starring Robert De Niro, my man Joe Pesci. I love Joe Pesci, and Ray Liotta. Joe Pesci won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Ray Liotta was nominated for Best Actor, and I don't know if Robert De Niro was nominated. One of Scorsese's best gangster movies of all time. One of my favorite movies of all time. Me and my mom actually watched this movie. If we already have it on Blu-ray. I even have a DVD copy of it. And even if it's playing on TV, we watch it. This is one of the movies that me and my mom really much bond watching movies. You know, that's how me and my mom spend time together, is basically watch movies together. That's my time with my mom. You know, cherish, you know, the mom that you have in your life, because, you know, you have memories, and watching Goodfellas with my mom is always a great time. So, if you know, Goodfellas at number 3. At number 2 is a Christopher Nolan classic, and it's The Dark Knight. This movie is the best superhero movie of all time. You people are saying, probably asking me, why is it number 2? Which one is number 1? And you're going to be shocked at what's number 1 on my list. But at number 2, I have The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger, the late great Heath Ledger, won an Academy Award for his greatest performance ever as the Joker. And he kicked ass. He was the best villain I've seen in a long time. I mean, I've never seen anybody transform themselves into one of the best comic book, you know, bad guys ever in the Joker. I mean, he outdone the performance by Jack Nicholson. He was toe to toe. He had like the best laugh. He was just a Joker. And I watched this movie just a couple days ago, and I'm still mesmerized at how well Heath Ledger did this movie and how he became the Joker. And Christian Bale's Batman was great. It's a movie that I can watch a lot, and it's the best movie out there. And I can't say enough about The Dark Knight. It's just a great movie, and just scenes in the movie. I can talk about this movie. You know, the scene where we're introduced to the Joker. He comes in, he's gonna sit down with the mob, and he says, "You want to see a magic trick?" And he puts the pencil on the table, and one of Gamble's guys come in and basically hits his head on the table, and he says, disappeared. Killed the guy with a pencil on the table. And having grenades in inside of his jacket, and all the knives, and just the catchy lines and the way he just does things. And I've never seen a Joker like that. I think that's the comic book way Joker is. I hope they're gonna do another Batman movie with Ben Affleck, but if they do the Joker, I hope they take a long time, because you can't duplicate Heath Ledger's Joker, and he deserved that Oscar. And God rest his soul, rest in peace, Heath Ledger. You left us too soon, and if you didn't pass away, you know, we probably would have saw you in The Dark Knight Rises, man. It would have been cool to see him again playing the Joker, but he's in heaven, so he left us one of his truest works, and The Dark Knight is number 2 on my list. And all my Blu-rays just fell down with my DVDs. My number 1 movie on this list, and it's an action movie, and it stars one of my favorite actors, and it's Bruce Willis, and it's Die Hard. Now you're wondering, why isn't The Dark Knight number 1 and Die Hard number 2? Die Hard means a lot to me. This is the movie that basically made me fall in love with movies. This was the best action movie that came out in 1988. I didn't watch this movie until a year later on cable on HBO. And the first time I watched this, I was blown away as a kid. And I don't remember how old I was. I think in 89, I think probably 10 years old or something, 10 or 11. Maybe 8 or 9 or 10. And I saw this movie on HBO, and I watched it from beginning to end, and I was mesmerized that one man can do all this in one movie and still save the day and just basically go crazy, trying to save his wife and all these hostages from this, you know, terrorist. And Hans Gruber, played by Alan Rickman, man, he should have deserved it. He should have won an Academy Award for that performance. Basically, he did basically the same thing Heath Ledger did in The Dark Knight, man. Just created a great villain in an action movie, where in action movies, villains were always just done like little comical and stuff until Alec Whitman changed the game. And he changed the game so well in Die Hard that ever since then, people have just been trying to play him, basically play, you know, Hans Gruber's character in different films, and it doesn't work. And I wish, you know, they didn't kill him off, because he probably would have been cool in some more future Die Hard movies. But Die Hard means a lot to me, number one on my list. I know you guys are probably saying, why is Die Hard number one and not The Dark Knight? But this is my list of my top 25. This is my favorite franchise, my favorite number one Die Hard movie. Basically, Die Hard is my number one movie. And I know everybody else loves Die Hard. They probably would have put it up in the top 10, but I put it at number one because it's my favorite movie. And this movie I've seen more times than any movie of all time. I've seen this so many times I can't even tell you how many times, because I don't remember. It's one of the best movies out there. John McTiernan, who also directed Predator, which was on my list. He's a great action director. Bruce Willis basically was doing TV before he got this. Nobody wanted him in this movie. A TV star being in a first action movie. They paid him like $5 million to be in this movie. That was ridiculous back then in the late 80s, but he delivered, and he created one of the best characters of all time, John McClane. One of my favorite action heroes, and you know, and as a kid I would pretend to be John McClane. So at number one, it's Die Hard, the original Die Hard with Bruce Willis as John McClane. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my top 25 favorite movies list. I try to keep this video under 20 minutes because I don't know if I have extra time. I just blew through them quick because you basically saw me messing up, because I made this list and I changed this list so many freaking times that I had to take stuff out. Honorable mentions on my list was the 2009 J.J. Abrams Star Trek. Also, I left out too my favorite movie, Adventures of Ford Fairlane. I left out Platoon. I basically left out some more stuff. I mean, I even left out Gremlins, and oh my god, I left out Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. I mean, I left out some honorable mentions, but those are the ones I left out on the list. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below and tell me which movies you agree you're on the top 25 on my list. You can leave down, you can ask me anything, you know which ones you guys can argue. I'm cool with it. You know, tell me which ones should be on the top 25 and should not be, and tell me if you guys are going to make your own 25 top favorite movies list, and have fun with it. This took me a couple, man, this was hard. This was hard to do, man, guys. This is a hard list to do. And yeah, so like I said, leave a comment down below and tell me what you thought about the top 25 countdown favorite movies list. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. I want to thank my new subscribers who have been subscribing to my channel every day for the last couple days. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Will Carr's 25 top favorite movie countdown. My man, WrestleManiac 1130, if you're watching this, thank you for making this list and telling us YouTubers to doing it. I did it. I hope everybody else here on YouTube and the Bluetooth community do it too. It's hard work. You have to write down what your favorite movies is. You gotta sometimes have to leave out some of your favorites, but yeah. So like I said, man, just if you want to do a list, just make sure you pick which ones are the good ones, because it's a hard list and you can leave out put some good ones in there, and some of the ones you have to leave out. It's gonna be hard, guys, but I did it. So yeah, like I said, so I'm Will Carr. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, like it, share it, leave a comment. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I'm Will Carr. I'm gonna sign off, and I'm gonna clean up these Blu-rays and put them back. And I'm gonna, right now, I don't know. I'm just gonna lay down because I'm basically movie list out. Alright guys, later, and you guys have a good day, man.